build this into the command line and then into the GUI, so you can start to choose to be able to do these kinds of really neat group custody things that are, again, all enforced on chain in a very transparent way. How cool is it, Justin?
So
Yeah,
all of that didn't go to YouTube audio wise.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh,
sorry,
YouTube.
Yeah, sorry, YouTube. But I mean, this is the coolest custody solution that exists, in my opinion. I've been involved in this ecosystem for a long time, and like other cryptocurrencies, and this is bar none better. Like, I don't think you need hardware keys anymore. I mean, you could still use them, once they're able to work with BLS2 signatures. But we built, from pretty off the rack hardware, some really strong hardware keys for this that, I hope we can. I'm trying to contribute to that open source project that everybody in the community is interested in, with the open source Chia wallet thing. I think I have some ideas I could share there, but this is really neat, and running this software on top of that, kind of a open source tool would be, I think, as good as a Trezor or something like that.
cool. So that covers that. Yeah. So with that said, we can probably get into it. There is, and of course, there's audio problems on the YouTube stream. One of these days, I had this perfect system in place that streamed to YouTube perfectly, and we did it 2 calls in a row, and now apparently it's just not working the way it used to. YouTube changed some stuff, and now apparently it's. I'm sorry, guys. I'll keep working on it in the background here while we do this. Every time we build up good patterns, the infrastructure changes on us. Let's see here. Let's get started on some of the questions we have. Gene, I know this is one that you really you'd like to talk about and opine about. Do you want to talk a bit about post-merge, the Tornado Cash situation and censorship?
Well, let's see where to begin on the problems that the core technical decisions that Ethereum has made are coming down to roost. So for everybody to understand, post-merge, obviously talking about Ethereum and talking about the fact that OFAC has probably exceeded their legislated capabilities and put the Tornado Cash smart contract on the OFAC SDN list. OFAC, Office of Foreign Asset Control, SDN, specifically designated nationals. So this is a list of people you can't send money to as an American citizen. Of course, a smart contract isn't a people, and that is one of the biggest problems that the OFAC opportunity caused. Both Coinbase and Coin Center are suing in different cases, and I think they have very good cases there. For those of you who don't know how Tornado Cash works, basically because of the account model in Ethereum, you can basically see every transaction anybody makes once you know their account. Tornado Cash allows you to deposit some Ethereum in a smart contract that you then can anonymously control, but only you control your funds. And then you can actually choose to bring them back out in 1, 10, or 100 or 1,000 Ethereum increments. And so the idea is that no one can link necessarily your deposit to your withdrawal. Of course, the North Koreans have been abusing this mightily because Solidity is a unsecure programming language, and North Korea has gotten about $2 billion so far this year in Solidity vulnerabilities that they've then run through Tornado Cash. But Tornado Cash is also totally legitimate in the sense of things like people being paid in Ethereum don't necessarily want their salary specifically to be all over their NFT account. I know that Vitalik has mentioned that he had donated to the Ukrainians via Tornado Cash because he did not want his donation necessarily linked to him, but he was willing to, de-anonymize to talk about the fact that there are very good and real use cases. So, some of these problems Chia just doesn't have. The UTXO or coin model, much harder to pull together. Your account isn't tainted. Your coin might be. And in fact, if you had something that was sent to you from an OFAC central address as a coin, you could literally ask the OFAC where the hell they wanted you to send it to and let them have it, because you can easily kind of get it out of your wallet in a way that you don't really untaint your wallet over on Ethereum. But that's not the worst part. Worst part is that 2 or 3 staking pools control Ethereum right now. And those 2 or 3 staking pools are like Lido, Coinbase, and Binance. And Coinbase and Binance especially are not going to be willing to get on the wrong side of the Treasury Department on whether or not they are validating transactions that are on the OFAC blacklist. And the problem is with that is that some of those transactions are completely. So you may be banned from being validated on Ethereum because somebody dusted you out of Tornado Cash. It's a mess. And again, it comes back to some of the issues with using the account model and the way that kind of Ethereum operates day to day, where the coin model does not have these kinds of things. You're going to kind of regulate at the coin level. And so, yes, if you have a coin that you shouldn't send address, you should. Because there's a person there. And I don't think anybody has a real problem saying that, hey, if this address is well known to be a North Korean, nuclear arms funding address, that Americans shouldn't send to it. And we're going to make it so that you can be warned that that's the case. But obviously, a lot of non-Americans use our software, and they may not be so limited. So they're going to have a chance to say, yep, I understand, and move on. But it's a real big problem. It shows you problems with the proof of space, shows you problems with solidity, it shows you the problems with the count model. Proof of stake. Sorry, that wrong.
It happens. Still getting used to that. On the Bright News, I have figured out the YouTube problem. So, two big questions we get every time. We talk about every time. I'll sort of loop into one conversation. Folks want to know a status on the IPO, and they want to know status on exchanges.
So on the IPO, we remain on a fast track. I think if you look around, you will notice it's the worst IPO market in maybe 20 years. So there's a big difference between when we file and when we become effective. I still remain